Okay, guys. Just haven't done a Gallops recap for a while, so I thought we might give one a crack. Um, Devonport meeting on Sunday, 8 races, smallish fields. There wasn't actually too much to see, so we should be able to dash through it pretty quickly. First for the maidens, think top three here, the top three in betting, and also probably the three best runs in the race. Mosh Opera, perfectly ridden from the outside gate, had the last crack at them. Far Word on debut, never travelled the entire race, probably gave the impression that probably needs a little bit longer, sort of, and enables him to settle a bit in the race, get into his stride, but definitely going to win races. And I don't think there's too much doubt Ross over, if it shouldn't have won, it should have gone very, very close to winning. We might actually go have a look at the replay.
Word heavily backed.
Right, so Rosso, it's having its first start in the state, and it's got the red cap here, so we'll just actually scroll forward a bit. So if we just watch it here, it is sort of three back on the inside. Just gets badly, goes to run up on the inside, sort of here, and gets balked, and has to swing round them. And if you just watch its last 200 metres, so these others had momentum up. I think it actually ran the quickest last 200 split of the race as well. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be winning races. So, the other thing too, there was a protest second against first, which I'm not too sure what it was for. I imagine it's for sort of the little push out there. So, I think that's wishful thinking at best. So, not surprised it did get thrown out. Yeah, so if we just have a look at the Stride Master data, you can see here that those three have clearly run the quickest last 200 split, and Ross Over did actually run the quickest last 200 by itself after being held up a couple of times at the top of the straight, so it might be the one well worth following out of that race. The second over the 1880, strangely run race. I think if we have a look at the sectional data, we can see like they've run their last 200 metres in 13 seconds. And if we look between like the 1200 and the 800, the leaders sort of put a gap on them and turned it into a bit of a last man standing affair, so the form can be might be a little bit dodgy out of it. The run out of the race, I think if you analyse it with the sectional times, bi-directional went probably just a shade too quick in the mid stages and left himself a sitting shot late, so he might be the one worth following out of the affair. The third, nothing between the first four over the line. What was this? We've got 0.3 of a length. Probably all gone as good as each other. If I was to pick one of them, like Kingsclear did enjoy a good run in transit, but never travelled one iota, so even getting the impression we'll get a little bit further, so might be one worth following. Sort of makes its own luck on speed and whacks away. So, but as we said, like when there's 0.3 of a length between the first four, you can make an argument for virtually any of them. The fourth, also over the 1650, pretty similar case here. First three probably gone as good as each other. LeConte had the cold sit on the first two, just a little bit too strong late. Glistening Star hit the line okay, but if you only look at the sectionals, there's not too much between their sectional times at all. Like LeConte's the one who's definitely run the best sectionals and won the race, so best run wins. Fifth, Will Be Rules. Just he's always promised to show a bit, and his last couple really sort of starting to deliver. Small, only won by half a length, but it's still sort of semi-dominant and winning. Both Talacia and Tara's hit the line okay, and Katoon didn't enjoy the best of luck and stuck to her guns okay. So, yeah, but I think sort of Will Be Rules. I don't think it's the last win in him this time in. The 6th, I'm Wesley, just dominant. He's really come back this time in work, so be interested to see how he progresses once we get back on the turf tracks. But just on the synthetic surface, he's sort of right up there with the best in the state. So I think if we analyse it, like you can see here, they're virtually 2nd, 3rd, 4th, run very similar sectional times. So, and they're pretty handy horses chasing him, and he sort of made them look pretty average, to be honest. So, exciting times ahead, I think. The 7th, Araconte, ran about a second quicker than the maidens in race 1. GG style, boxed on OK episodes. There's one here, Axion, I think it was also having its first start in the state for Barry Campbell, similar to the runner in the first. I'm not going to have a look at it, so was it race 7? So same colours as the horse we pointed out in race 1, the red cap. So here it is here. We just, doesn't it get sort of clear running, sort of, it's sort of held up a little bit. And not fully tested until about now. And it's like, really like its last 200 metres here. Yeah, so I think both of those horses can be well worth following. And in the last, Wind Rider was just dominant. Valerius ran home well again. And Little Rayo was one who did hit the line pretty well when best form's been over a bit longer. So, yeah, so anyway, just as I mentioned at the beginning, there's not too many to pick out as ones worth following going forward. But as we pointed out, I think Raquel Clark actually rode a treble on the card, and it's a fair argument Rossover should have won, and stablemate Axion should have gone very close to winning as well, so it could have been a big day out. So we might actually make those two the ones to follow. That's Rossover and Axion. They're both in 1,000 metre races, so even if they're out two, they both sort of gave the impression that 1150 is probably going to be more suitable than the 1,000 anyway, so I think we can follow them both going forward. So anyway, guys, I might try and keep the Gallops things going as we head forward. So anyway, we'll wrap it up there, and as we mentioned, the two Barry Campbell stablemates are the ones we've picked out to follow. But thanks again, and we'll catch you next week. Cheers.